Welcome to the Edubiase Clay Sports Stadium, where this afternoon it is match of equals between Cape Coast Mysterious Ebusia Dwarfs and Cape Coast Mysterious Dwarfs versus New Edubiase here at the Edubiase Clay Sports Stadium. Like I did say, it is really going to be match of equals here. Because when you look on the league log, both teams are having 4 points apiece. Just that it is New Edubiase who are on the 11th position as against Dwarfs on the 13th position. Live commentary brought to you from the Lankley Sports Stadium. Very soon I'll be going to the team sheets and I'll be telling you the men who will be doing the kill for both teams. For Dwarfs, we have goalkeeper Foley Adade imposed, Stephen Edu, Christopher Bonney, Francis Martin, Kingsley Tin, Ricky AJ Mensa, Kwame Frimpong, Francis Atukwe, Prince Apia, Nicholas Jan, and John Atta. These are the gallant 11 men who would be representing Ebusia Dwarfs this afternoon. For those men who are coming from Bekwai, we have Eric Niba, former goalkeeper of Kumasi Asante Kotoko, in post. Then we have Asiedu Atobra, the man who has been doing everything possible to make sure that New Edubiase's name does not get missing on the Premier League list. Remember, he was the same person who captained the team to win the FA Honors. And so they will be representing Ghana in the Confederations Cup in Africa. Again, we have Ima Mensa, Nate Polo, Abeku, Enitsin, Idris Uyaya, Sechikwe, Alhassan Afiru, Bernard Ofori, Basit Adam, and Ebenezer Ofori. These are also the men who would be doing the kill for Nia Dubiase. And so this you have on your screen. You have on your screen the players. But let me quickly go through the officials for this afternoon game. Emmanuel Alpeni, class 1 from Accra, will be ably assisted by E.B. Baden and Agbaja Mark Eric, also a class 1 referee from Ho. Andrew Stamaklo would be the 4th official here. You have on your screen the team sheet in terms of substitution for both teams. Very soon my colleague Albert will be joining me on commentary position, and together we will be giving you live commentary from the Edubiase Clay Sports Stadium. Professor and referee blows his whistle for the commencement of the game here. Now it is New Edubiase who have the third shot of the ball. Still, the ball has been ballooned and goes straight to touch for a welcoming throw in for Ebusia Dwarfs. Albert, welcome. This is a match of equals because for me, both teams have 4 Ps at E. And though one is placed on the 11th position, the other is on the 13th position. How do you assess the strength of both teams?
I think that coming into this game, they come into the game with a similar record. They have 4 points in the last game. The midweek, they lost away encounters. Difficult away.
But sorry to cut you, Albert. New Edubiase making an early incursion into the half or into the goal area of Ebusia Dwarfs. But the ball has been neatly cleared and referee whistles, goes for an infringement in favor of Ebusia Dwarfs. Now you can continue.
Well, I was mentioning the fact that they come into this game with a similar record, 4 points each. They all lost their previous game, the last game coming into this game. They have 1 victory and a draw. And I think that for Ebusia Dwarfs, the change of home venue or the ban they have suffered has taken a toll on them. It's not the same playing away from home. Yes, they picked victory against Asofok in Tema in what was supposed to be a home encounter. For New Edubiase, they've not reacted so well going into the season, especially with the departures of Moro, Emmanuel Bafo, a couple of other changes, and then administratively too, the boardroom wrangling seemed to be taking a toll on them. This afternoon, they won't be having the coaching. They won't be directing. They won't have instructions being directed from the bench by their substantive coach, Anthony Comey, and his assistant. It is going to be Coach Zachary, who's going to be on the bench. And he, I know, is the second assistant at New Edubiase. So a lot of things not going right for them, but they have some players coming into their team. Abeku Enusen, Tower in defense, will be in the team today. So we'll see how things pan out.
All right, so definitely the first 45 minutes would give us a fair idea of how these two teams or how regulations will be ending here at the Linkley Sports Stadium. Now it is New Edubiase with the ball. A long one, but the ball has been intercepted by Ebusua Dwarfs. They placed two passes out there, but they lost possession to New Edubiase, who has also lost another possession, but the ball has been regained. Nate's interception there by Ima Mensah sends the ball to his goalkeeper Eric Niba, who looks for an option. He sends a long one into the area of Ebusua Dwarfs. The ball has been blocked. The chest. Now it's still New Edubiase. It is Alhassan Afiru, but the ball has been intercepted. Still, New Edubiase has the ball. They've been trying to look for the interpositional play, and they've been losing the ball anytime they get the ball. And it is Ebusua Dwarfs who want to initiate an attack into the area of New Edubiase. He does that so easily, but the ball goes straight, and it's a goal kick in favor of New Edubiase. But I can see an Edubiase player down. He received the attention of his medical men. So temporary hold up here at the Dwarfs Clay Sports Stadium, where this afternoon, if you've just joined us, we're bringing you live telecast of the first match of Mark Day 5 between Abontua Ebusua Dwarfs, the team from Cape Coast, and the lads from Bekwai, New Edubiase. Albert, we've done some few minutes into the first half. So far, what I have seen is that both teams are not really getting their passes through. I don't know whether you'd want to agree with me.
I think they have struggled to settle into a particular pattern. The enthusiasm has been there from New Edubiase as we saw them break down the right side of the attack where Bassett went on a solo run. He was stopped in his tracks. Apart from that, they have showed a desire to pass the ball around, but it's not really gone into a settled pattern from both sides. I think it's quite early. We've just done about 5 minutes. Sometimes it takes between 5 and 10 minutes for some of these local sides to settle into games, to settle into particular patterns. But it will be interesting to see where the key battles will be this afternoon. We've seen Emmanuel Mensah coming into the Edubiase team to slot into the right fullback position, where Fusaini Ibrahim, who played last Wednesday's game, goes back onto the bench. But that will be a battle where he will face the likes of Jan in that position. In midfield, Nuhu Hussein didn't have a particularly good game against Kumasi Faisal. We'll see how the battle between himself and Kwame Frimpong will also pan out. So those are key battles I'm looking out for in this particular game, but difficult as of the 5 minutes to speak of any clear, drawn-out fight or battle for the balls shaping up on the field of play.
Right, so the ball is in the half of New Edubiase, and goalkeeper Foliada, they collects the ball. He sends in a long one. He looks for an option in the area of Ebusua Dwarfs. He fails to get that option. The ball has been blocked by the defensemen of Dwarfs. They initiate an attack, an in-swinger into the area of New Edubiase, but the ball has been neatly intercepted. It is New Edubiase now with the ball. Both teams are struggling to settle here at the Dwarfs Clay Sports Stadium. But these are early days yet. Bernardo Fori. He brings the ball to the left-hand side of play. He finds his man, Bassett sends a long one into his own area. Dwarfs trying to get that kill into the area of New Edubiase. A shot, but the ball has been headed out. And so it goes straight to touch. It's a ball coming through inside the area of New Edubiase in favor of Ebusua Dwarfs. They're trying to settle here, but nothing really to choose between these two teams. They've all fallen flat here, though New Edubiase seem to be, or Ebusua Dwarfs rather, seems to be slightly ahead. Referee whistles for an infringement in favor of Ebusua Dwarfs. Albert, you have watched Ebusua Dwarfs. You watched them last season. You've watched a couple of their matches this season. Now, have they been able to take perfectly their set pieces?
Well, I mean, it is a deficiency that afflicts almost all Premier League teams. Apart from Kumasi King Faisal, we saw on Wednesday, work the goalkeeper and then get a goal from set play. Almost all teams struggle to score goals from set plays, but this seems to be a very well-routine free kick, well rehearsed, and nearly resulted in a goal.
That is it. Dwarfs nearly scored the first goal here. Neat interpositional play and a neat pass, but the ball failed to reach the target. Missed the post by inches. A sigh of relief. Dade Foley nearly got it. Dwarfs inside the area of New Edubiase. The 1-2 passes goes through for them. They are doing everything, I'm sure, exactly what Professor Minta told them to be doing. But they are not getting it right here. And the ball goes straight to touch. The ball coming through in for Dwarfs inside their own area.
If we go back to the free kick effected by Ebusua Dwarfs, they seem to have done a bit of homework on New Edubiase. New Edubiase looked to be in trouble anytime against Kumasi King Faisal. A ball was played down the right side where Nate Polo, the left side where Nate Polo defends from. They seem to be stretched when the ball goes out in a wide position where the defense seems to be stretched. Once the ball went into that wide position, the cutback got the defense in disarray. It was the connection from Kwame Frimpong that they didn't find the back of the net, but you get a sense that if Ebusua Dwarfs are able to do that a couple of times, they will put a lot of pressure on New Edubiase. But the point too is that Ebusua Dwarfs like working the right flank, where in previous times we've seen Insedu play. But Christopher Bonny in that position will be key as far as that tactic of Ebusua Dwarfs is concerned.
Are they trying to read the minds of both coaches here? There's still nothing to choose between these two sides. Still Dwarfs 0, New Edubiase 0 here at the Barcelona Clay Sports Stadium. A long one inside the area of New Edubiase. The ball goes straight to touch. It's a welcoming goal kick for New Edubiase. Eric Niba, he looks for an option at the far left. Yes, he gets it. New Edubiase trying to play the 1-2, but they lose possession for Ebusua Dwarfs. What can they do out of this thing? Yes, he gets his man. A long one inside the area. Interpositional play, switch to the left-hand side. The ball goes straight to touch. Another throw-in for Ebusua Dwarfs. Their passes are going very, very well. Now it is Edubiase trying to make an incursion into the area of Dwarfs. He failed to reach Imam Mensah.
Dwarfs seem to be doing some basic things in football right here. They are pressing really high up the pitch, doing the one-touch play also in the midfield, picking the second balls, and it's crucial at this stage because then they are having a chunk of the possession here. But the man on the ball for New Edubiase, Eduard Tobra, will be a decent outlet. New Edubiase will be launching several attacks from. Against King Faisal, once again, in some of the other games he's played, he's always tortured players who directly come up to face him. Against King Faisal, it was Kojo Boateng, but here, because he's not gotten on the ball too much, we've not seen what sort of impact he's playing on that side of the pitch, the right side of the pitch, will have on the way New Dwarfs defend, because Francis Morton in the left fullback position is a strong player.
For Dwarfs, apart from the fact that we have virtually an empty stadium, I'm not sure the home away from home is having any telling effect on them. Playing as if they are at their favorite Cape Coast Stadium. They try to make early incursions into the half of New Edubiase, but anytime they get there, they lose focus, and it's the regular suspect, Basit Adam, who has been doing everything possible to make sure he fetches the first goal for Ebusua Dwarfs, but lacks ideas in the final third, and so it is New Edubiase. I wonder what this player was doing, Albert.
Well, sometimes it's difficult to explain or to get into the minds of players, but Prince Appiah, who is a direct replacement for Asiedu, who now plays for Mediama SC, has the build, he has the physical structure, he attempts to bully defenders some of the times, but he doesn't seem to have the same touch as Bismarck Asiedu has. The point is that the similarity you can draw between himself and Bismarck Asiedu is that they tend to be profligate in front of goal, squander a couple of chances, but Asiedu scored a couple more goals than Prince Appiah. But the thing is that Prince Appiah can work and create space and time for other players to score in games. As we saw in the game against House of Oak, he really did well playing the lone man up front, created opportunities for the likes of Lukman, who came on to get a penalty and even score a goal for Dwarfs. And then in that particular game, Appiah himself, they scored one of those goals.
So it's New Edubiase now. Once again, Dwarfs now, once again. He failed Prince Appiah once again failed to get the connection. And so the fans, though they are doing everything possible to get behind their team, Prince Appiah, who is the usual suspects, have been failing to find the nets for Ebusua Dwarfs, and still reign 0-0 here at the Edubiase Clay Sports Stadium. Now Dwarfs in their own half, getting all the 50-50 balls, the interpositional play, they're going through everything perfectly, but finding the net has been the problem for them. Referee plays the advantage, and Dwarfs, the ball goes straight to touch. I can see goalkeeper Eric Niba questioning the decision of the referee. He thinks it should be a foul in favor of New Edubiase. The referee says no, play should continue. But Prince once again failed to get the ball, and so he went straight to touch for a welcoming goal kick for Ebusua Dwarfs. New Edubiase rather, I beg your pardon.
At this stage, it's obvious to sport that Dwarfs are the stronger team technically. I won't put it down to New Edubiase having their coaches not on the bench this afternoon. But John Arthur, Nicholas Jan seem to be bossing things in midfield for Ebusua Dwarfs. Again, I'm not seeing the impact you expect from Nuhu Fuseini. Because of that, it's difficult for them to bring in the influence of Asiedu Atobra. When Asiedu Atobra gets on the ball, the likes of Bernard Ofori, Basit Adam, and then Ebenezer Ofori are able to come into the picture more. And that is how come New Edubiase would be able to put pressure on Ebusua Dwarfs. At this stage, it's been Ebusua Dwarfs doing the attacking. But the point is that they have been wasteful in front of goal. As we see here, Nicolas Jean, I mean, he does everything possible. He outwits his marker, that was Abiku Innocent, beating all ends up there, but he fails to catch the shot on his lace.
Exactly the points we've been speaking about here. The Busua Dwarfs doing everything to get an early goal here. It seems to lack a lot of ideas when they get to the final third of the new Edubiase goal line. And so it is Edubiase now trying to also find something out of this attack. The attack breaks down and the ball goes straight to touch. It's a welcoming goal kick from Busua Dwarfs. Fuliadade collects the ball. Goes back. Sends a long one inside the center half of New Edubiase, but the ball had been headed out. So it falls for New Edubiase, but the referee says no, it should be a free kick in favor of New Edubiase, who are gradually warming themselves into the game. But Dwarfs seems to be the team on top, getting their passes right. The rate is almost perfect here, but still they lack that idea that will see them have that connection and the first goal. And so it's Edubiase now, but once again, Albert, they also fail to connect the ball.
Well, on that occasion, they nearly got the better of the central defensive pair of Busua Dwarfs. Nobody there picking out the threats from New Edubiase's Ebenezer Ofori. The ball was played into the middle. Sometimes it's tricky for defenders, central defenders, to know exactly who picks the responsibility. As every other person between the two players, Kingsley in 10 and then Stephen Edu, between the two players, nobody really knowing who should pick the responsibility of defending that ball over there. It could have been a case of Ebenezer for having a clear sight at goal, getting a full touch of the ball and scoring.
And so once again, it is Dwarfs. The referee plays the advantage. He switches play to the right-hand side. It is number 29 man for New Edubiase. He blocks the ball down. A very neat collection, but the ball has been intercepted. Still Dwarfs in the area of New Edubiase, but once again, they failed to connect the ball. And so it is Edubiase now trying to initiate the attack inside the area of Dwarfs. Mamensa brings the ball to Ebenezer Ofori, but Dwarfs clears their line, and so it is a throw-in in favor of New Edubiase, trying to warm themselves up. A corner kick rather, a short corner taken across inside the area of the goal line of Busua Dwarfs, but the ball has been intercepted neatly. Now Dwarfs. Prince sends the ball to his right-hand side. It is Dwarfs now. What can they do out of this? Such a slow pace. I thought this player would have been in a hurry to look for his man to connect the ball, but he decided to toe the tortoise line, and so the ball has been collected by New Edubiase. An end-to-end action, but there's nothing really to choose between these two sides.
I think that one thing is obvious. New Edubiase are struggling to bring their midfield into play here. For Busua Dwarfs, it is a question of they not having the cutting edge in attack. In that particular instance where they defended the corner kick, they broke the attack of Edubiase so well, set out a counter-attacking play. But as you mentioned, the run from Prince Appiah was pretty poor. Yes, I admit the pass from Jonathan took the ball slightly away from goal, but you expect a player in that position to be fast about the business of the day and not that languid attitude you put up there. But the point is that if Busua Dwarfs are to carry anything from this game, they need to be efficient in front of goal. Yes, they've not had any clear-cut chance as far as goal-scoring opportunities are concerned. But the thing is that they are passing very well, as we see here, the build-ups very well. But it is the final selection of option that is being poor. What sort of alternative do they have when it gets to the final third? And it's been poor from there. It's not as if Edubiase have been so solid, so impregnable in defense. It's been a question of Dwarfs being wasteful with the ball in the third half of the pitch.
And so, Dwarfs in their own area, such a sloppy pass to goalkeeper. Fully Adodi. He collects the ball and sends a long one inside the area of New Edubiase. A quick run into the match history of both sides. Remember, when these two teams locked horns in April, it was New Edubiase who defeated Dwarfs by 3-2. Dwarfs also retaliated in the return encounter and defeated New Edubiase by 3-1. Aside that, the other two games have ended in a 0-0 drawn game and a 1-1 drawn game. A lot of actions in the center of the park, but a lot of ideas are being lost anytime these two sides get to the final thirds of their opponents. It is Ebusua Dwarfs who are doing everything possible here. Referee whistles for an infringement, and so there's a temporary hold up here at the Edubiase Lane Clay Sports Stadium. And the Dwarfs players will go for instruction from Professor Minta and also get some water to cool down their nerves. The weather condition here is perfect for football. The sun is not shining that much. And so, still mate here at the Edubiase Lane Clay Sports Stadium. Dwarfs 0, New Edubiase 0. Remember, Ebusua Dwarfs, after defeating Accra House of Hope, lost to Tama Youth. So here are they, clearing their last match of that long suspension from their home base in Cape Coast. Now, Albert, do you think that Ebusua Dwarfs, forget about last season, but this season, have been able to do something meaningful, quite apart from the fact that they have not been honoring their home matches in Cape Coast?
Well, I think that it's very early in the season, but last season by this time they were battling for a top 4 position. This is their third game. They should have been playing at home at the Cape Coast Robert Mensah Stadium, and by the trend of the Premier League, you expect teams to maximize points there. And so you look at some of the games they've played against Bekum Arsenal on any day at the Cape Coast Robert Mensah Stadium. They will start as favorites and pick the maximum point. And so you want to look at the first day's game here at the Lankley Stadium and the fact that they picked only 1 point from that game against Arsenal as 2 points lost by Ebusua Dwarfs. This is their third game here. The game against House of Oak, yes, they won at the Tema Park, but the history of games between House of Oak and themselves, in the last 10 outings, Ebusua Dwarfs have won 6. Against Tema Youth, that is where the surprise came, because in the Premier League history, that was the first time Tema Youth had won against Ebusua Dwarfs. But the point is that Tema Youth this time around has a very strong team. They kept a chunk of the players from last season's Premier League still playing for them, and they have a decent squad that will bother any team at the Tema Park. So I look at this, and if you put it in perspective, yes, it's not affected them too much. Probably financially, they will count the losses of not playing at the Robert Mensah Stadium.
So that is it, but this is their final match away from the Robert Mensah Sports Stadium. And so the next time you see them wear their yellow and green jerseys, they will be playing at their favorite home grounds, and we're just hoping that that problem or brouhaha brought about their suspension will not happen again. And so New Edubiase will be making an early change here. It is number 43 who will be coming in for New Edubiase. Once again, they clear their lines.
Okay.
Try to bring the ball to the middle of the park, but loses possession to Ebusua Dwarfs, who switches play to the left-hand side. A shot. He gets his man in that river, but the ball, referee whistles for an infringement. in a dangerous position for Ebusua Dwarfs. Albert, I've been talking